You know what it is. It's your boy Step Back Magic, Mikey in the flesh doing this live thing. I'm gonna put out a couple videos. This one is gonna go about talking about the Minnesota Timberwolves and their lineups, their specialties, and where they go next year. Okay, when we look at this team, the Forgotten West team, I'm gonna tell you they have some things going for them that could potentially land them if they develop properly. A big four. Yes, you heard this here first. Your boy, Step Back Magic, giving it to you. A big four. Who is that going to pertain to, and who on this team is part of that big four? Because you probably know three of them. Okay. Karl Anthony Towns obviously leads the anchor. If nothing happens this year, if they don't get close to the playoffs, there's going to be a move for Anthony Towns. No doubt about it. No matter what his stat line is, 25 points a game last year, almost 10 plus rebounds a game. And then 4.5 assists. The guy shoots 38%, almost 39% from three. One of their better shooters on the team, and he's also shooting almost 48% from the field goal range. He's an all-star, no doubt about it. Extreme player, great free throw percentage. It's just not turning into wins for the man, but the guy is an offensive scale, onslaught. He is what he is, one of the top centers in the league. Now, who also forms the next guy for this big four movement? Your boy D'Lo Russell. All right, we got to give him some credit. Last year, even though you didn't see him too much, 42 games played, needs to get healthy, 19 points a game. He's shooting almost 44% from field goal. Needs to improve that. I think he'll do better. Almost 39% from three. Free throws horrible, 76%. A guy with his shooting ability should be in the 80s at a minimum. Assists per game, this is where he lacks D'Lo, even though he's creative. Almost 6 assists per game and 1.1 steals. So he's an all-around creative player. He's definitely a guard, not a point guard in my opinion in this league, but a truly, truly special talent who's still coming up at his young age. Though he looks like he's older, he's been in the league a while. He's still a young kid, and he's definitely making strides forward. The number three guy for me is Anthony Edwards. We know about him from last year. 19 points per game, 41% from the field goal range. Not a great three-point shooter. We saw that in the combine. It did not, obviously, things still did not translate to the game, and he's still a horrible shooter. Free throw percentage, 77%. So I say this to say this. This guy averaged almost 19 points a game shooting like that. He's shooting like that, putting up nearly 19 points a game. All right. Something is up with this talent. Okay. He is special. He may come out to be the best guy of the group. If he can get that 3-point percentage up, he could be truly special. And we formalize this to say this. Who is this number four player that we're talking about? Because it's not Malik Beasley, who I think should be better off coming off the bench. I think should be stars, should be D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Karl Anthony Towns, and I'll jump down to my favorite, Jaden McDaniels, who I said in the draft was going to be the biggest steal of the draft if no one picked him up. A guy that can shoot the three, handle everything. 63 games played, but not a lot of minutes. Look at the point percentage, almost 7 points per game. Shot 44% from the field, 36% from three-point range. Really needs help on the free throw shooting, 60%. It's not going to cut it, my boy. It's just not going to work. Another thing that's not going to cut it, a 6'10", 6'11 kid only getting 4 rebounds per game. Unacceptable for his size. He's going to get bigger with muscle. He's a little sleight of hand, but once he gets bigger, we should see at least a 6 to 7 rebound per game guy, which I think will be his max because of his body frame. And then I think from a turnover perspective, he's doing well. Assist wise, needs to improve as well. Jaden McDaniel could be your fourth guy. Okay, they made a couple of trades to get a couple more players. I know that Mr. Jared Culver, I believe, was traded. We got to see the output of that. I didn't like that trade. I don't like the moves they made there, which for Jared Culver, I thought they could keep him. But again, these teams make the moves that they think is best for them. What am I saying here? When we jump into free agency and the talents available, when I look at the big four, I'm not seeing a true good gap down for a small forward position. I do not see that depth that they need. If Jaden's your starter, maybe a Kogi can play it a little bit. Maybe Jared Vanderbilt had a pretty good season last year, can also fill that role. But who's your standalone small forward dude that's really going to bat these guys up? I mentioned those two. They play. Do you trust them? Okay. Power forward position, Naz Reid. Center position, Naz Reid. Naz Reid. A lot of reliance on Naz Reid. Ed Davis came in there as assurance, a big muscle guy. I would suggest they move in that range and try to get another big center, power forward slash guy to help out inside. Nas Reed's not going to be able to do it by himself, even though he had a tremendous season last year. Still needs to get up on rebounding, but Jersey stand up. Tremendous performances from Nas Reed if you watched them. Okay, now who could be their anchor if you got two guards on the team? I think Edwards and Russell can fulfill that point guard role for a short-term time of period. However, I wouldn't want them there full-time. And I know people are in love with Jordan McLaughlin. Be advised that Ricky Rubio's gone. But people are in love with Jordan McLaughlin and his talent. I liked what I saw at Summer League, but you got a bigger talent out there. Here goes a segue. Let's take a look at Dennis Smith Jr. and what he brings to the table. Yeah, I'm on his jock right now, all right? This is the type of talent that we're dealing with that is not in the NBA right now, is sitting on a bench somewhere, and this is what we're talking about right now. For a team that needs help, I talked about the OKC Thunder as a destination for him. But if it's talking about win right now, because OKC has Josh Giddey, and a team that needs a point guard for me, definitely Minnesota. He's giving me the Stephon Marbury vibes. Exactly. Boom. Alike. Okay. Big time scorer, ability to get in the paint at will, tremendous dribble, needs to work on his assists, can be a much more higher assist man if given the opportunity. This kid is still not playing in the league. Can you believe that? He's still young. I believe he's still under 23 years old. How dare you not utilize and explode this talent? I mean, we're talking about him and Luka Doncic being the big 1-2 punch, except they didn't get along too well because Luka owned the ball. And once that happened, he got traded to the Knicks and was forever forgotten, man. No offense. And it's a shame to see that in a talent this good. Okay. Look at what we're seeing from Dennis Smith Jr. I definitely think he could play a pivotal role in helping out the Minnesota Timberwolves aspire, oh Lord, their goals and trying to get to the playoffs. A talent again that can get to the lane, opens up the court even more for the squad. Now, when we go into free agency, there's a couple guys that spook my mind when we look at how these guys land and helping this team. Obviously, they need help with three-point shooting. If Karl Anthony Towns is your best three-point shooter, you have a problem. So where do you go from there? There's a couple guys that can play a slash role I think will be beneficial to them. And there's a couple guys I think they should go attack. I think DeMarcus Cousins should be on the mind of the Minnesota Timberwolves. If they're truly serious about making the playoffs this year, they need a little bit more weight. Let Ed Davis go. Bring in Cousins. He can get minutes here. He can play. 31 years old. Younger than Davis. I think he can still do the same damage in limited minutes, even with the Achilles and knee injury. I like DeMarcus Cousins on the Timberwolves, and I think this is a team that excels in giving him time to really get his opportunity to play. I think he wants to play. Another guy that stuck out to me, I'm skipping down a little bit. There's a gentleman by the name of who? Mike Jones. No, Stanley Johnson. Stanley Johnson from Toronto Raptors is an interesting talent, a guy that I feel could really help this squad, a guy that's being utilized as a three-point shooter now. Though he has a low scoring average, don't be fearful of that. He's a big muscle guy. I call him a fake nose Ron Artest, which is a compliment. And I think Stanley Johnson still has all the means and talent to be special in this league as a spot up shooter now, because that's what they're playing him as, and maybe hey, I'll say here, man, I'm honest with myself and I know my talent. He is a poor man's Jimmy Butler if he gets in the right situation. Let's get Stanley Johnson playing. I suggest he go to the Minnesota Timberwolves. He gives them at least some minutes settled every game where he can pitch in and help out the team, try to get to the playoffs because it's going to be a tough run on the west side. All right, Lauri Markkanen is another guy that's open. Probably have to do a sign trade. He's a restricted free agent. So is Nick Mannion. All right, we continue down. Cabarro, can't believe it. He is open. Another three-point shooter that they may like. TJ Leaf is a stretch guy. Another three-point shooter that they may like. We talk about Garrison Matthews. It would have to be a sign and trade. Wes Matthews at 34 years old is another interesting proposition. Let's go to the next page. And there's not much else there when we look at guys that can shoot the three ball. Skylar Maines, it looks like he's restricted. I'm going to step down. Nicolo Melli from the Pelicans, he can shoot the three ball. Again, there's a couple of talents out there that really got me scratching my head on why they haven't re-signed these guys and get them a better contract. I don't think J.J. Redick will end up in Minnesota. He wants to win a championship now. Austin Rivers is another guy. Needs to win a championship now. Not sure if he goes there. We talked about Dennis Smith Jr. as a big opportunity guy for the Minnesota Timberwolves and fits in perfectly. Who else is out here when you look at three-point shooting to be able to assist them, they're going to have to possibly look to the G League. Matt Thomas is another guy that possibly could get him there. But again, he is on unrestricted free agent, and I'm not sure if you waste your noodles on him. Cassius Stanley, I believe, is released. There may be an opportunity to nab him to get some more athletic front court help. But in my opinion, it's Dennis Smith Jr. and maybe add in another big guy. We just mentioned him on the other page. Someone in the ilk of Stanley Johnson, and another guy that can shoot the three ball pretty well is where's he at? Not Mike James. What a shame on Mike James. What a shame. Justin Jackson is another guy that they could pick up to stretch the floor. In all, with this type of roster and lineup, these type of talents, it's exciting to see them make moves to try to get better. And this draft was good to them. Can they continue to make the moves? Patrick Beverly was at it. They signed Nathan Knight as a free agent. Who else could they add to the squad to help out? Nathan Knight's going to play that center forward role to help them reach the playoffs. I think Dennis Smith Jr. is the answer. You add on Stanley Johnson, maybe Justin Jackson, and you're all set for your first playoff run in Minnesota in a long time. Before hell freezes over, I'm going to sign off. I like the Timberwolves. I like the moves they're moving. Quiet is kept. No one really seeing what's happening, but they got a big four opportunity, and they can continue to get better talent through the draft. I suggest they stick to that route instead of rushing and trying to get everyone in right now, because it takes a matter of time to gel. And really, the Lakers plus the Nets are really too strong right now. Why waste it? Anyway, we're going to step out of here. Step back, kids. It's your boy, Mikey. I'm gone. Peace.